team, we're back with some more Kinstretch delivered to you wherever you're doing it. And today we're going to work on some hip and knee and ankle spiciness for you. You're going to need about a yoga mat's worth of floor space, maybe a little bit more. You're going to need a wall or something sturdy that you can put your hand on, just because we're going to do some standing hip cars. You're welcome to do a different base position. But if you can do standing hip cars, I would like you to, because it's going to give us a nice test retest, both for how the hip feels after these upgrades and for how the standing leg performs, because we're going to do some, again, ankle and knee stuff and some hip extension stuff. So all of those things are part of that standing leg that's doing nothing. It's actually doing a lot. Okay, so we're going to start standing, and put your hand on something sturdy. And let's go ahead and move the outside leg. So whatever is furthest away from the object that you're touching. Take a moment here to brace your standing leg. Can you like hulk out all the muscles of that leg, pack some air into your abdominals, and then you're going to bring your working leg in front of you, and you're going to externally rotate it as much as you can. So trying to get as much as you can, and then start to lift that leg up as high as the hip will allow once you hit that ceiling. How far out to the side can you push your leg? Once your body has answered that, how much can you rotate to kick back? Coming all the way around until you get contact between your inner thighs, and then pause. From there, reverse. Back. How far out to the side can you go staying tall? Woof. How high can you bring that knee as you come around? And then how much external rotation, hacky sack motion of that ankle, can you get? You're on the clock, team. Keep it rolling. Beautiful. Keep working well. I'm just going to turn our actual clock on. You're doing great. Breathing and moving. Standing hip cars, team. Are you still tall? Are you starting to lean forward? We don't want that. That's a compensation. Are you starting to bend your standing knee? Don't do that. We got about 15 seconds left, probably not enough time for a whole other rep, so just stick with your pace. Find that 1 mile per hour, work. Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. Wherever you are, let that go, shake it out, switch sides.
Big time feels on the standing leg.
Yes, that standing leg will feel like it's working, maybe not as hard as the moving leg, but like close to stay still. All right, so new side, set yourself up for success by packing some air down into the abdominals, really hulking out the muscles of that standing leg. Once you feel solid there, start to lift your working leg in that hacky sack way. A goal would be, can I get my ankle higher than my knee? Ha ha. Push out to the side, internally rotate, kick back. How far back can you push your thigh bone behind your belly button? Come around, get some juicy contact between those inner thighs, and then rewind. Straight back. How far to the side can you bring that knee and ankle? Come around the corner. How high up can you lift that knee? And how much external rotation can you get? Awesome, team. You're on the clock. Keep tick-tocking back and forth. Am I still tall? Can I still feel a good contraction in my standing leg butt? If that butt cheek stays squeezed, you know you're not letting your pelvis go along for the ride with your hip car. It's a really good indicator. Good. Keep working. We're almost there. Reinvest. How tall can you be? How strong can that standing leg be? 10 seconds, gang. You got this. Keep going. Dig deep. Keep breathing around those braced abs for 3, 2, 1, wherever you are, let that go. So just bookmark whatever sensations you noticed, both in the standing leg and in the moving leg when they had those respective rolls. We're going to come back and retest this at the end. And now we're going to make our way down into our 90-90 position. And we're going to kind of start from the ground up. So we're going to go ankle, knee, hip, and then we'll flip over and do the other side. So a little bit of a sequence here. So as you're setting up in 90-90, we're going to focus first on the lead leg, which means your trailing leg has some play in where it wants to be. If you want to pull it forward a little bit, you can. If you need to lean a little bit out to the side, do it. If you need to lean all the way onto your elbow, that's fine. We're going to start with this little ankle on the lead leg. This is some spiciness you never knew you needed. So we want to imagine that we've super glued the whole shin to the floor. You can give it a little press downward, little bonus pails for hip external rotation. And then moving from the ankle joint, you're going to imagine that the sole of your foot is actually a flashlight, and you're going to try to shine that flashlight up towards the ceiling. When you feel like you can't turn anymore, give it a little hold, feel for what's contracting on that top side of the ankle, and then smoothly set it back down. We're gonna work for time on this one. So just at your own pace, finding that complete stop where you can't turn the sole of your foot towards the ceiling anymore. This one can be real crampy in all the fun ways. We do not train the regressive or the shortening tissues of this side of our ankle very much, but this is a really key component to helping us build ankles that can roll and rebound, right? So if you've ever rolled your ankle and had kind of like a sprain or like a, pain for a few days, this is a really key drill to build more control in that range of motion that happens when we roll our ankles. Last 5 seconds, you're doing so good. Hold it, work for it. Tense the rest of your body to send help and relax. Spicy. Okay. So similar idea, we're gonna work the shortening stuff that pulls the hip into external rotation. So deep breath in, brace, and then rotate to get that ankle off the ground. So now we're twisting the thigh to lift the ankle and then smoothly setting back down. Now, if you tried that and nothing moved, go ahead and come down to your forearm so you lessen the angle. But if you got anywhere between a credit card swipe and like a 2 fingers width of lift, that's great. If you're getting much more than that, we want to actually make this a little harder for you. We'll do another video about how to do that. Okay, so brace your midsection. We don't want the torso to change shape. And then rotate that thigh bone. Woo! Try to get more twist, smoothly lowering back down. Nice, you're on the clock for this one. Find your own pace. All I ask is that when you hit that point where you're asking for more rotation, but your body is not giving you any, that you hang there for a second or two. Ask for more motion. You might get more motion, or you might get a better contraction of the muscles that do that job, and either one of those is a win. It means you're strengthening at the end of your active end range, which is the magic that Kinstretch is all about. Awesome, gang, you're close. 10 seconds. Make sure that knee is staying on the ground. We're not trying to lift the whole leg, we're just trying to twist it. Doing great, Will. Woo. And relax. Okay, so we're gonna come back down to the ankle for a little extra challenge. Here's your choose your own adventure moment. If you felt like just lifting the first move we did was like kind of a joke and enough to gnash your teeth into, you're just gonna do that for another set. If you were getting some decent lift, we're gonna build on that control by now asking you to do a little hover. So this is more advanced, so I want you to decide what's right for you. Watch one and then we'll do it together. So Will's gonna brace his body. He's gonna get that shine of the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. Now the game is, can you hold that short stuff contracted, and can you plantar flex or point like a pretty ballerina, whoop, and then can you dorsiflex, i.e. pull the toenails towards the kneecap.
So just one clarifier, when you start to point, don't point so far that you lose that tilt of your foot, because you might see I'm like not going to a full point.
Correct.
But that's where my inversion ability stops.
Correct. So the main thing is keeping this contraction and then trying to get as much dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, or gas pedal down, gas pedal up as you can. All right, so brace your body, lift that ankle off the ground, shining towards the ceiling. You're on the clock for some back and forths. Will's getting bonus time.
I was gonna say, I guess I just get more crampies.
Yeah, you're welcome. When you're biking home, you'll think.
Oh.
Good, you got this, team. Can you send more help to those ankle tissues by tensing your body more? Can your bottom arm get stronger? Could your armpits squeeze? Could your abs brace harder for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly control that back down to the ground. Let the cramps subside. I know, you might get like arch cramps, you might get weird toe cramps, you might be feeling some stuff in the lower leg. This is all generally tissue that is relatively untrained, so it's super, super good upgrade for those ankles. All right, so we're gonna do a similar thing with your hip rotation, adding in a little knee hinge. So again, this is an increase from kind of intermediate to advanced or beginner to intermediate. So if you'd like, you can just do another set of those hip rotations, or you can add on this knee hinge. Watch one and then we'll set it up together. So one more, same thing with the ankle. We're gonna want you to rotate and hold that rotation and then extend only as far as you can keep that rotation happening, and then bend, and as you bend, I want you to try to get more rotation. So every time you bend, you're trying to get your foot further up off the floor. Okay, relax for a second. You're gonna feel this very powerfully in this region, okay? So pick your poison, whether you need to be on that forearm. Probably you will want that to give yourself a little more extra room here. You could even lie all the way down to side lying and put something under your head if that feels good. All right, all together, deep breath in. Brace the midsection, make sure the sides of the waist are gonna stay the same length. Get your rotation first, get that ankle up off the ground by way of twisting the thigh. Hold that rotation. Now start to extend out. Any amount, might be a little, might be a lot. It's totally fine. And then bend in, lift, 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 more rotation, more rotation, more rotation, more rotation. Good, keep going, you're on the clock. Find your pace of out and in. Keep extending and bending. Can I rotate more? Always, all the time. Yep, you can give yourself a self-tactile cue. You can put your finger right on your inseam to make sure it's staying where it is. Last 3, 2, 1, wherever you are, relax back down to the ground. That was 30 seconds, y'all.
Strength training.
Strength training. I'm warm now. Yeah. Okay, great. So we're gonna do a little 90-90 switch on over to our other side, and then we're gonna run this whole sequence on your other leg. So Will's gonna adjust his position just slightly so he's got room to make the switch. Make sure you've got some room to come to the other side. So now I'd like you to make this front leg heavy into the floor. If you need to lean your torso a little more to the side to keep pinch free in the hips, go for it. And we're gonna start to 1 mile per hour, peel that trailing leg knee off the ground as far as it can go. Then let the belt buckle start to look towards the knee as that knee keeps reaching away from the opposite knee. How far apart can you push your thigh bones? Good, when you absolutely can't keep that lead leg on the floor, let it come off, but the knees are allergic to each other. They're trying to get as far apart from each other as they can as you move through both butt cheeks. And then that trailing leg starts searching for the floor, dragging everybody else along with it until you land on the other side. That was like my David Attenborough, I feel like. All right, awesome. So I'm just gonna will cheat around a little bit so you can, see what's going on. We're gonna start over at the ankle. Remember that? Okay, so pin your front leg down. And again, if your knee is way off the ground, you can stuff a little sweatshirt or a towel under there, just so you've got some good contact. And then we're gonna start with just our ankle lift off. So shine the sole of your foot towards the ceiling, get a good complete stop, and then lower back down to touch the floor but not rest. Try to stay on tension if you can. You're on the clock, team.
So if I might just throw in some
insider info.
Yeah, exactly. So, Hannah was talking a lot about that regressive feeling of contracting.
Yep.
I'm also on this side feeling a bunch of stretch on the bottom side.
Oh, for sure.
That's fair game too.
For
I just feel more on this side than I did on the other side. So something to note.
Yeah, your sides might feel really different. Keep working here. You've got 10 seconds left. Your range of motion probably is going to be really different side to side. I know it is for me. So just let it be what it is. And if you can, really think about the heel, that sort of flat part of your heel, trying to look up at the ceiling. 3, 2, 1, and let it rest. Right?
Good stuff.
It's easier to twist the forefoot, especially if you have a pretty flexible midfoot. It's harder to get that heel to turn and face the ceiling, but that is gonna drive more motion to the actual ankle joint. Okay, then we gotta do our hip rotations. So, we'll do our tester rep. Give me a good brace through your midsection, sides of the waist the same length. Try to get rotation through the thighs such that you get a little bit of lift under that ankle and then back down. So just note, I don't want your ankle to do work now. We just did that, don't do that. Rotate your hip and that will result in an ankle lift. If you weren't getting any lift at all, go ahead and come down to your forearm or even all the way to side lying. Pick the angle that's right for you, and we'll go for time. Good brace. Rotate that hip, get your lift, hold it for a second or two, and then smoothly come back down to touch the floor but not rest. Right back up. Ooh, life is good. Other hand can give you some rotational encouragement for that thigh bone, or can touch the knee to make sure the knee isn't flopping up off the floor. I know, this is really intense here. Last 5 seconds, team. You can do it. Can you tense your body more to send help to those hip tissues for 3, 2, 1, smoothly lower down. Zowie, wow, is your other leg cramped?
Other leg cramped.
That's always my favorite,
Sending
when your body's
help.
like, I don't know what's happening. How about this? And you're like, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're back to the ankle. Here's your optional hover challenge to go for the advanced option, or just keep working on those sole of the foot facing the ceiling lift-offs, okay? Either way, I want to invite you to get the rest of your body more involved. The work is happening here. Yes, this is our joint-specific training, but the more muscular engagement you have in your whole shape, the more of that muscly statue you are, the more juice you can send to these puppies. Okay, good brace, midsection. Start to angle the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. Hold that contraction, and then gas pedal down any amount and gas pedal up. Whoa, shaky, shaky. Doing great. Good, you got this, team. Keep breathing. Keep searching for that control. Can you get more wrinkles in your sock on this top side of the ankle, even while you're going back and forth from flex to point? Whew. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly set it down. So spicy, so fun. Okay. So now we're gonna add the knee hinge to the hip work. I'll give you a little more room, Will. You might wanna come down to that forearm position. If you were already on the forearm for the last hip drill, you might wanna come all the way down to side lying. You're gonna wanna give yourself a little more room to move because this is adding a longer lever to that lift off. Big brace, midsection on strong, both sides of the waist the same length, upper body strategy for tension. Rotate that hip so that the bottom leg comes off the ground. Hold that rotation and now extend and bend the knee. Searching, how far out can I extend without dumping that rotation to the ground? How far in can I pull my heel towards my own body? And can I get a little more rotation while I'm bending that knee? You're on the clock. This side might be a whole different story than your other side. That's all good. Nobody's symmetrical, let's be real. Yes, there we go. Home stretch, come on. 3, 2, 1, wherever you are, set down with control. Zowie.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I think that's our whole thing, yeah. So we're gonna get a 90-90 switch back to the original side, and then we'll do some stuff for the trailing leg so it doesn't feel left out. So, press the lead leg into the ground actively. Start to peel your trailing leg knee off the floor. Get as much peel of the knee as you can. Then let the belt buckle start to follow along. Still pressing that lead leg into the ground. If I was at home, I'd be trying to pick up your lead leg, knee, and ankle. You would not let me. When you have to, let the lead leg come off the ground, and that's gonna be different timing for everybody. So really ask and inquire of your body. Knees are allergic to each other as you come through the middle. Knees are allergic to each other. Keep pushing in. Yeah. Turn the belt buckle all the way to face that front knee. And then set down. Nice. That looks great, Will.
Thanks.
Okay. So, trailing leg. Will, let me have you angle a little bit of adjustment. Perfect. Nice. So, now we're going to work on some rotation for the back hip, the trailing leg, which is an internal rotation. And again, keeping with today's theme, we're going to do some regressive work first, and then we'll get into a little progressive work. So number 1, I want you to face your belt buckle towards your front knee as much as you can. Some of you will have lots of range to twist there. Some of you will have very little. Just get what you can. Number 2, keeping your belt buckle looking there, can you push the sole of your foot back so that you bias a little more hip extension? Yeah, so that thigh bone moves back behind you, foot moves back behind you. Now, if you need to, lean out away from you. Will's right up against the wall here, so he can lean against the wall. We invite you to do the same. You can lean on a couch is a nice thing to do here too. And then what we're gonna do are some passive range liftoffs for that trailing leg. Now, let's do a test one and then we'll talk about how to adjust it. Deep breath in, pack that air down, both sides of the waist the same length. Rotate that thigh bone of the trailing leg such that your ankle lifts, and then smoothly set it back down. Okay, if that sucker didn't lift at all, you're gonna lean further away from the leg, either directly to the side or forward. See what feels best for you. Both are great options. It's just a matter of preference. If you got a lot of lift, I want you to stack your torso up a little more towards upright and figure out how to prop that kickstand hand so that you're able to get just the littlest lift. The closer we work to end range, meaning the smallest movement we get, the more value we get throughout the muscle tissue. All right, we're gonna do 5-second holds. Delightful. Deep breath in. Brace that midsection, rotate, hold whatever you get for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smoothly come back down, touch the floor and come right back up. Hold the top of the lid, fight for more. 5, 4, come on. 3, 2, 1. Smoothly lower down. Life is good. Tense the rest of your body. Hold. 5, 4, push. 3, more rotation. 2, 1. Slowly come back down. Don't let the ankle steal the show. Rotate and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smoothly back down. Brace, rotate. 5, 4. Come on, from the hip. 3, 2, 1. Smoothly back down. Last one, best one. That was 5?
That was 5.
Okay, that was 5. I
Looking out
almost
for
gave you a
you.
bonus rep. This is why we need 2 humans. Okay, great. So you are welcome to do another set of that. Or you can accept this new and exciting challenge. I know, we're doing it right back to back. So for the new challenge, watch one and then decide what you're gonna do. We're gonna get, similar to our theme, we're gonna get rotation. We're gonna try to hold that rotation, but we're gonna pick up the whole leg and tap forward and back. So the knee, yeah, there you go. Relax for a second. So it's almost like I put a pencil right in front of your knee and you're trying to tap in front of the pencil and behind the pencil with that little inner spot of the knee, but you're trying not to lose that rotation that lifted your ankle up the whole time. So this is a tough one. If you're gonna do the hover challenge, you will need a little bit more lean than you had for the liftoff, so set yourself up for that now. We're gonna work this one for time. So I'm just gonna give you 30 seconds to hover back and forth on your own accord, and I'm gonna keep reminding you of ways to keep that rotation alive. All right, here we go. Grand finale for this leg, this is it. Brace, rotate to lift the ankle, hold that lift, get the knee off the floor, come on. Good, forward and back. Woo! Yes, when you touch down, you are kissing the ground ever so tenderly with your inner knee. Yes, Will. Yes, 10 seconds down, come on. You can do it, you're halfway. Keep working, reinvest. Can the rest of your body support this movement anymore? Can you rotate that ankle any higher off the ground? For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God! Whew. Death. If you cramped your side butt, you're welcome and you're right on the money. All right?
Also, if you feel it like start to fatigue, aka shake a little bit, good sign.
Yeah. You might very well be like, oh, I can tap in the beginning, and then as those 30 seconds wear on, it's like, whose leg is this?
Seriously.
New leg, who dis? Okay, so we're gonna do one 90-90 switch to the other side. Use this 90-90 switch as a chance to feel if your hips have changed in their abilities. So pry that back knee off the ground, keeping the front leg glued to the floor as long as you can. When you have to, let the knee come off, but the knees are allergic to each other. They're trying to get as much space from each other as they can. They've been living in quarantine. They're not happy about it. Good, slowly making your way to the other side, turning your belt buckle all the way over to face your new lead leg knee. Turn, and then the last thing to come down is that new trailing leg knee. Beauty. All right, well, let me have you angle just like so. Yes, great. Also, you'll notice Will likes to pull his front leg in. That's totally gravy. Sometimes it just makes you feel a little more stable when we're doing the trail leg work. More stable is more bueno. Okay, so we've got our rotational lift-offs first. Let's do a test round. This side will be different than the other side. Brace your body, rotate that trailing leg, thigh bone in the socket, such that the ankle comes off the ground, and then smoothly set back down. You've been working on this.
Oh yeah. So coach, you think that's too much lift? Do I have to
Yeah,
go
so
upright?
Will needs to be more upright because he gave me like 3 inches of lift, which is very good.
And what do I get for my reward? A harder exercise.
Yes, punished for good behavior. That's how we roll in Kinstretch.
All right, here we go.
All right, I also really like this. I just want to call this out real quick. Will's got his elbow pushed up against his hip, so he's got a target to push that hip into. He's pulling up on the bottom leg. The bottom leg is kicking down. This is really just a tension strategy to help you brace and become that muscly statue. So do what works for you, but really turn yourself into that muscly statue. We're doing 5 5-second holds. Here we go. 1, rotate, hold, fight for more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back down. I just want to note your chest should not be moving forward. Rotate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smoothly set down. Don't drop that leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, last 2. Rotate. Fight for more. 5. Come on. 4. Whole body. 3, 2, 1. Smoothly unwind. Last one. Best one. Best brace. Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly return. Well, that was some end range training. I don't know if you can see it from there, but his leg is like, which is a really good point that no matter how advanced you get in Kinstretch or how athletic and strong you are, end range is where we are all weak, and that is where we can stand to get stronger and really level up our performance. Okay, take a deep breath, wiggle if you need to wiggle, give your wrists a little bit of a break. We're gonna do the hovers for the trailing leg. So you're gonna need a little more lean than you had for the last exercise, or you can repeat the last exercise, okay? We're gonna work for 30 seconds. I will be honest with the 30 seconds. I know I'm terrible at counting and clock management, but I'm working on it. So we're gonna get our rotation, and then we're gonna tap the knee back and forth. Remember this delightful gem? So get an upper body tension strategy that works for you. Pack some air into your belly, like you're getting ready for your toddler nephew to walk across your belly. Rotate that leg, and then lift the knee. That's it. Tap forward and back. Woo! Woo! Keep that rotation. Keep that rotation. Don't get enamored with the knee movement and let your ankle drop. Ankle is getting higher, higher, higher the whole time. If I was at home, I'd be giving you a little tactile right on that outer heel to push into. Almost there. Come on. Come on. Woo! 5, 4, 3. You got this. 2, 1. Slowly set down. Who knew 30 seconds was forever?
Melting into a pile of hip meat. Whatever that means.
Luckily, that was our second side. All right, team. So now that we have thoroughly toasted the regressive tissue, we're going to do a little PRLOs for hip internal rotation. In most of our work where we do PRLOs for hip internal rotation, we do it first. So I'm really curious to hear how it feels for y'all to do it after doing your regressive work. This is something we've been playing around with in the lab. All right, so one more 90-90 switch. Plant that lead leg down. Don't let me lift it. Start to peel the trailing leg off the ground, finding your 1 mile per hour pace, keeping that trailing leg pinned down as long as you can. Knees are allergic to each other. Siblings who are in a fight, don't want to share a room. Good, all the way over to the other side. Good, great. Okay, now once you get over to that new side, we want to settle into a stretch for hip internal rotation. So you can pinch your front heel in if that feels good. You can slide that leg on back. And then if you want to wind up more stretch, you can rotate such that your trailing leg butt cheek moves down towards the floor. For some of you, that will feel like a joke. For some of you, you'll feel some palpable movement. If you're like me and you have a lot of hip internal rotation passively, your butt might actually touch the ground. All of these things are fine. If it feels good to lean back away from your trailing leg, go for it. Set yourself up for success here. Start hunting around for a stretch anywhere in the deep hip area. You might feel some stretch through this front pocket area. You might feel deep groin stuff. You might feel a weird gnawing sensation right where your butt meets your hamstring, but like deep to the bone.
Sounds delightful when you say it that way.
I know, but that's kind of what it feels like. And that sensation in particular is your hip capsule, your posterior hip capsule on stretch, which is a gorgeous thing to have happen, but it is a weird sensation.
Also, I'll just throw this out there. If anyone ever wants to go on an anatomy deep dive, I would love to show you how there are muscles that look like they grow out of your hip socket. When you look at an anatomy textbook or whatever, it literally is like the muscles just grow right out of that socket. So if visualizing it would help, please hit me up or hit us up and we'll guide you to that.
So hopefully you've been sinking into your stretch, doing some slow and intentional breathing, which is the best way to calm a freaked out nervous system. When you're dealing with end range positions, your nervous system can sometimes find a threat response because end range is, the reason it is end range is that that's where your nervous system has decided you can't go past, right? So as we're knocking on the door of that end range border, it's helpful to just really slow inhale, slower exhale. All right, so last checks. Could I make any micro adjustments to my base position to feel more supported and more powerful? And then could I rotate my butt cheek towards the ground any more as I've been hanging out in this passive stretch? You might get a no, but just ask. All right, so now the action is going to be to press down gently with the knee and the ankle of that trailing leg. So just give me even pressure, almost like you're trying to make a little print of your shin bone into the ground. Establish that. And I like that Will's got his hand here on the pelvis. We don't want the pelvis to kick out of position. So we want to keep the pelvis wherever it is. And then layer two, once you've got that straight press down, now I want you to keep the knee heavy, but just make the ankle heavier, such that if the floor wasn't in the way, you'd be rotating down into the floor. You wouldn't be lifting your knee off the ground, but you'd be rotating down from that position. So start trying to get that crank of rotation and slowly, incrementally build up until you feel like you're at your 50% effort. Make sure you're still breathing, you're braced. Once you find 50%, if that still feels safe, gradually increase to your 80% effort. Working your way up, not jumping from 50 to 80, but incrementally increasing. When you hit 80%, if you still feel safe and you've got some more to give me today, I want to invite you for 10 seconds to give me your greatest, safest effort. Go for it. Honest 10. You've got this, team. Can your body give you more? Could you squeeze anything for 3, 2, stay in position. 1, slowly melts that effort away, trying to leave the bones where they are. And if you feel some space open up, relax into it. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Sometimes our PRLs effort will calm the nervous system and we'll get a little more permission to move.
Sure.
That looks so good.
Thanks.
That was awesome.
More.
Okay, so we're gonna do one last 90-90 switch and then we'll do PRLs for the other leg. So get yourself organized for that. Pin your front leg down. Start peeling your back knee off the floor. Good. Pinning your front leg down. How long can you keep that front leg pinned down, but continue moving your trailing leg? That's the question to ask and let your body answer. When that knee has to come off the ground, how far apart can you actively pull your knees? This should feel like some side butt work. How much can you actively press that new knee down? So if I was at home with you, I'd be trying to lift it up. You're pushing me down to the floor. Yeah, this is tough. Coming all the way over, turning your belt buckle. How much can you get that belt buckle to face your front knee? And finally setting your knee down. Great, okay, start hunting around for your trailing leg stretch. So you're gonna rotate your butt cheek back and down towards the ground. This side's gonna be a whole different enchilada. You're gonna lean back if that feels good, maybe even lean against a wall or a couch. And you're gonna breathe. And you can adjust your lead leg. Sometimes it feels good to bend the knee more, sometimes it feels good to bend the knee less. For some weirdos like me, it actually feels good to straighten that leg. For most people, this is not the case, but just throwing it out there in case we have any other hip internal rotation friends. And start that slow inhale, slower exhale. And if you can, if you don't have any nasal passageway blockages, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, or in and out through the nose, is really calming to the nervous system. Generally, not true for everyone, depending on your life history, but generally. If you can also allow yourself to breathe in such a way that you're letting your belly expand and contract in a non-effortful fashion, like just letting the belly fill up with air, letting the belly naturally empty of air, but allowing some movement kind of below or around your belly button. That's a place we tend to kind of like hold tightly, but sometimes we want to let it go. One more good deep breath. Last check. Could I make any micro adjustments to feel more supported and more powerful? Could I make any micro adjustments to get deeper into the stretch? I.e., can I rotate my butt cheek closer to the floor? All right, gang, we're gonna start our pails. So first thing, make the whole shin 5 pounds heavier into the ground, ankle and knee pressing down at about the same intensity. And then keep the knee heavy, but start to drive that ankle heavier into the ground, such that you are trying to rotate your thigh bone, but the floor is in the way. And then slowly and gradually increase that effort until you find your 50% effort level. 50% of your 100, which again is going to be a little different for everybody. Subjective. At 50%, if that's still feeling safe, slowly increase to 80%. This is where I want the whole body getting involved. So abs, extra braced, fists could squeeze, armpits could squeeze. If you're feeling good at that 80%, I invite you to kick it up to your greatest, safest effort for just 10 seconds. Ready? Go for it. Whew. Whole body effort, strength training for 5, 4, 3, give me more, 2, 1, stay in position and just slowly, gradually fade that all the way back down to 0. Let yourself settle in if your body's willing to settle. And take your time coming out of that position, because end range work can feel a little nar-nar on the dismount.
Yeah, feels good.
Yeah. Okay, so just give yourself a like wiggle moment, because you've been very focused, and I appreciate that.
Is this wiggle?
Whatever wiggle feels good to you. There's no wrong answers on the wiggle. We are now going to get into our collapsed quadruped position. This is also a point where you could be like, I'm done with this class, and just do your standing hip cars to retest if you know that collapsed quadruped is not a thing that works well for your bod. So for collapsed quadruped, you're going to come into a quadruped position. Well, let me actually have you angle. Yes, perfect. Okay, come into quadruped. Yeah. You're going to stretch your right leg behind you, and then you're going to sit. If you can, you're going to tuck your toes under. You're going to sit your butt back to your heel. So this is going to put the low back in a little bit of a rounded shape, which is good. You can come down to your forearms. You can stack your fists and rest your forehead on them. That's my favorite in this position. If it doesn't feel good to tuck your toes under, you could rest your foot flat, but then I would want you to stick a block or a rolled up towel between your thigh and your heel, because the lower your hips are to the ground, the harder this next exercise is going to be, okay? So Will's got his toes tucked under. He's going to endeavor to not move his body except for the back thigh. So all together here, team, take a deep breath in, brace the midsection, make your elbows heavy into the floor, make your butt that's on top of your heel as heavy and as glued to that heel as you can. And then you're going to stretch your back leg straight. So keep those toes tucked under for me, Will. Stretch your heel. And then see if you can make that leg light off the ground. It may or may not lift. It's okay either way. Hold, 3, 2, 1, smoothly relax back down. Good, I know, it's terrible. Okay, brace again, reinvest. Midsection braced, elbows heavy, heel glued to butt. Stretch your back heel long, try to feel the glute of that long leg contract, and then if you can, make your leg light. Can you make your foot light off the floor? Oh my God! And then slowly back down. Nice, team. We got 2 more of these, just 4. Brace your midsection, heavy elbows, stretch that heel, find your glute. Make your foot as light as you can. It doesn't actually have to lift, just really light up that glute and hamstring stuff. Slowly relax it back down. I know. Last one, best one. Try to brace your body more. That's all I want you to change. Brace your body more, stretch that heel, maybe make the foot light. Hold, 3, 2, 1, slowly back down. Yowie, zowie.
Seriously.
All right, you want to switch flippy flip, Will, so I can see your other leg? Yeah, I like it. Okay, so you're in quadruped, you're stretching your left leg out straight. You're gonna sit your right butt cheek back to your right heel. This is where the knees have to be willing, so this one really doesn't work for everybody. I like, again, elbows on the ground. For me, elbows wide feels good. Will's kind of doing that too. Let your back round. That's a helpful thing here. Back toes tucked under if you can. If you can't, lay your foot flat, totally fine. Pick your poison. Deep breath in. Brace your midsection. Let that spill up into the upper body. Bury those elbows in the floor. Start to stretch your back heel back to feel your butt cheek muscles turn on. And then make that whole leg as light as you can without anything else moving. It probably won't leave the ground. Just make it light. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax that knee back down. Gorgeous. Reinvest. Better brace than last time. Make the rest of your body work harder. Stretch your heel long. Find your glute. Feel it. And now try to make that whole leg light. I don't expect it to lift. I just want you to take some of the pressure off the floor. Hold, and then slowly relax it back down. Beautiful. Halfway, 2 more. Brace. Stretch that heel. Find your butt. Try to make the foot light. Hold that effort. 3, 2, 1. Slowly back down. I know it's terrible. Okay, last one. Best one. Turn up your body tension more. Make yourself a muscly statue. Go for it. Stretch that heel. Make your foot light for 3. Woo! 2, 1. Slowly back down. Oh my goodness.
Woo.
That's a spicy meatball. Okay, take your time, but make your way up to your feet. We're gonna retest our standing hip car, and then you're out of here. All right, so whichever leg was not just working, I would like to be the moving leg, so arrange yourself accordingly so that your outside leg can be the one that moves, your inside leg can stand strong. Hold on to something, your wall, your chair, back, whatever you have. Take a moment to hulk out that standing leg, pack some air down, brace your midsection, and then take that front leg just in front of your shin, hacky sack the ankle, and raise that thigh up into as much hip flexion as that hip's gonna give you with external rotation. Your pants getting in your way. So annoying. I'm gonna get you some stretchier pants. Good, once you've maxed that out, how far out to the side can you bring that leg? Hold that lift out to the side and start to twist. Trying to lift that outer heel. There's your internal rotation, which we worked on a lot today. And kick back. Coming around until the thighs touch. Pause there, rewind. Drive your heel straight back. This is what we just worked on upgrading. How far out to the side can you bring that leg? Hold that height to the side. Try to increase it as you twist to show off your glorious inner thigh to someone standing across from you. Keep twisting. Hacky sack that ankle all the way up and across and down. We're just going to do 1 rep, so we got to switch sides. Good job.
Yeah, so I mostly just feel, I don't necessarily feel more range, but I feel a lot more contraction going on around, especially as I reach back.
Like more muscles coming to the party?
Exactly.
So that's a huge win, actually. We don't always expect to see a big change in motion, but if we can feel more stuff participating in the movement, you've done your work today. All right, other side. Take your moment here to brace, strong standing leg, and then start to hacky sack that moving leg into external rotation, ankle higher than the knee, ha ha. Once you get up as high as you can, how far open can you pull that leg out to the side? Hold that height. Try to internally rotate. Try not to let the knee drop. Try to just twist. It's gonna drop, but try. And then kick back. As you kick back, are you still tall? Are you still squeezing your standing leg butt? Can you get those inner thighs to pull together? And then rewind. Kick back. Yes. Push it out to the side. Stay tall, stay tall, stay tall. Don't lean. Good. Stay up with that leg, but start to rotate. Show me your inner thigh. There it is. It's glorious. It's beautiful. Keep rotating. Keep lifting that ankle. Hacky sack, hacky sack. Pull across. Cramp some groin stuff just for a parting gift. Woo. It's a party favor.
Thank you.
All right, team. Thank you. I hope you are sweaty and happy and enjoying the upgrades for your whole leg. My ring just got caught in my leg warmers. We'll see you next time. Please drop us a question in the comments if you have it, and we'll see you soon.
See ya.